twizzle in the hizzle. Just turn this off. I want to talk about the whole Jacob Blake incident, the attempted murder by the Minnesota police, and I want to just speak upon some things. This is just a news report, and I can't show the video. So that's Blake right there and his children, I believe. I don't know much about him at all. But we did know he was trying to break up, I believe, a fight between women, and he was confronted by the police. And they shot him in the back several times and severed his spine, and some other things that they did with those gunshots. He has some serious internal uh, wounds that will never be healed. He is paralyzed, and he's probably permanently paralyzed because it severed his spine. And so they handcuffed him to the bed, right? So let me say this. Let me say this. And you guys know I am not defending the police. But I'm gonna say this: that is police procedure for them to handcuff him to the bed. And I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you how I know this. The Pittsburgh police beat me up, right? Just because they wanted to. They even they even erased it off of my record. Like I can't find any record of it because I was gonna take him to federal court. So the Pittsburgh police beat me up, and when they did, they took me to the hospital. They broke my finger, they broke my ribs, um, and they fractured my skull. So I was bleeding all over the place, but I was still standing. I got hit 8 times in the head. But when the ambulance showed up, they were like, "Okay, we're gonna take you to the hospital." So the same cops who beat me up was wheeling me into the hospital. You know what I'm saying? And nonetheless, uh, when that happened, I had to get an immediate operation on my hand. The bruised ribs and and I had to get an operation on my skull. So they had to stitch me up here. I still have a dent in my skull, and I still have the scar on my finger right here. So I mean, he just took my finger and he just broke it, and said they didn't care, and it was a black cop who did this to me. So yeah. Nonetheless, but while I was in the hospital, I had to, after the operation, a judge came to the hospital. They arraigned me in the hospital. And I was, attached by handcuffs, right there in the hospital bed. So even though I'm beat up, bleeding, and all that, just got out of surgery and whatever, they still handcuffed me to the damn hospital bed, and they were the ones who caused, the whole skirmish. I did nothing wrong. So this leads me to believe that this is procedure because you're not going anywhere. Jake is not going anywhere. He's not going. He can't. He can't move, and I don't think his family is going to come in and move him when he needs hospital care. And I feel for the brother. I think what happened to him is terrible. I'm glad that they stopped playing basketball and all the other sports. I'm glad there's a whole shutdown. I'm glad people are really expressing the way they feel. Roger Goodell came out and was talking about Colin Kaepernick was right. We should have listened to him, and you should have. And Colin Kaepernick did it in a peaceful way, but Roger Goodell let it get out of hand and let people think it was about the damn flag, and it was never about the flag. But now here we are. America is getting tore up because nobody wanted to listen when there was a peaceful protest going on. They just wanted to watch the bodies hit the floor and expect that nothing was going to happen. Well, now you have, a young, angry America that's not having it. And, one lady was talking about the silent majority, which is the white people. She's like, we're going to get angry and start doing, a bunch of stuff because of Black Lives Matter. Well, listen, some of the people who are already out there getting in folks' face are young white people, and they're for Black Lives Matter. Therefore, everybody should be treated the same. Therefore, equality. They're not out there trying to terrorize anyone. They want the police to be the police departments to be revamped. They want to be able to vote who's going to be walking our streets. They want police procedures to change. They want Breonna Taylor's killers in prison for the rest of their lives. Shoot, I want them to get the death penalty. Truthfully, I do. And they want all these killings, especially in Minnesota. I mean, what's going on up there? But they want this whole thing to be over and done with. So I just wanted to tell you guys that this is a police procedure, what they're doing. And because I know on here they were like, it's adding insult to injury. Police didn't do that to add insult to injury. They did it because that's protocol. And no, it looks like insult. Well, let me say this. It is insult to injury, but they do this. It's a procedure. It happened to me, and my story was never news. What happened to me happened back in '98, and the cop told me to my face, "It's your word against mine." So I mean, the police laughed at me while I was bleeding. They made fun of me. You know what I mean? It was like this is what we do to people just because we feel like it. So I'm glad this guy's story has been seen, and hope, there's going to be some serious repercussions to the police officers that did this to him, not just to run up and target Walmart and all that. And nah, screw that. These people need to be apprehended. They need to be imprisoned, and they need to have long, stiff sentences in these jails where these black people are, in these prisons, and they're not feeding us, and the people are dying of coronavirus. They need to be in there with them. They need to be in there 24-hour lockdown, hardcore criminal. I don't have no mercy for nobody out there just committing heinous crimes against people, especially when they're unarmed and they're defenseless. I have no love for you whatsoever. So, but I just wanted to say they didn't do that just because it was him and it was a police officer. Like the cop didn't go, yeah, we're gonna do this to you as well. When you get into it with the police, this is what they do. They handcuff you to the bed. And it's a sad state of affairs to be. And another reason why this is insult to injury is because he can't go anywhere. He's paralyzed. You paralyzed him. You know what I'm saying? When I got injured, I got hit like 10 times to my skull. I wasn't going anywhere. My whole hand was wrapped up. And my body was in pain because I just took the hits, and I was just standing there looking at the guy. Because I was like, I'm a man. I'm not going to fold because you're hitting me and punching me in my stomach. I stood there and I took them hits, because I knew I couldn't fight back or I was just going to be murdered. And they made it very, very clear. It's my word against yours. They could have done anything to me. So, yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. And it's... I hope they get paralyzed. I hope the police who did this get paralyzed. I hope the police who are killing die. I hope the police who are paralyzing people die. I hope the police who killed Breonna Taylor, I hope they die by getting ran up and shot and all that other stuff. I hope whatever you do to people, that it happens to you, because peaceful protest isn't working anymore. Violent protest seems to be getting a response, but it should have never came to this. We had peaceful protests. We prayed. We went to church. Y'all killed us in the church. Y'all kill us on the street. Y'all just hung a bunch of black men. Just randomly hung in a schoolyard. So these people have crossed every line that there is. They're murdering our children, our mothers, grandfathers, fathers, grandmothers. There is no line that they won't cross. They're killing our babies. There's no line that they won't cross. They have no mercy for black people. So I have no more prayer for these people who do this. I have not one. I don't pray I'm not going to give these people a hug if something happened to somebody I knew and hope that you're okay in jail. Nah, I'm not doing that. I hope you die in a fire. So that's just where I'm at. It's your boy Tom 202. God loves you. Peace.